Hello there, welcome back to another video, and today I will be showing you how to use the broadside trap correctly, the best perks for the broadside, and pretty much all you need to know about the trap. So, let's get into it then. So, for the best perks for the broadside, I have mine as physical, crit rating, crit damage, reload speed, and durability. But you could use double crit damage instead of reload speed, so you'd get more durability. It's more personal preference, but these are just the ones I use. You got the crit rate and the crit damage, so you can do more. You can crit more and do more crit damage, more damage normally, more durability and more reload speed. It's just like an overall decent trap. But this one's good for Frost Knight as well. So the broadside trap, if you know how to use it correctly, it can do incredible damage. As you can see, the numbers are literally popping. But if you don't know how to use it, then the numbers will be significantly lower. But this is why I'm here, to teach you the best uses and trap tunnels for this trap. So, here are some of the best trap tunnels slash cases that I found from my experiences in missions. And yeah, these are like the best tunnels that I can use. So first off, we have the pretty much bog standard one. This is the fundamental for broadsides. It is broadside, because if you didn't know, the broadside shoots a cannonball projectile that bounces off of husks and bounces off of walls. So when this shoots, it will bounce off the walls and then just bounce, and do a lot of damage, as you saw earlier in the video, in them clips. And what I sometimes see is people just place broadsides everywhere, like literally facing nothing. And what this will do, the broadside will just shoot off towards infinity, and sometimes it doesn't even hit the husk. That's the thing. It just shoots literally. But yeah, for this tunnel we have broadside as I said, bouncing off of each side. Then gas trap, because the gas trap does a lot of damage and it is a very good trap. And sometimes it even snares the husk and pushes them backwards. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah. And then we have the ice trap. So if you didn't know, the ice trap, when a husk freezes, it does freeze like most of the husks by the way. When a husk freezes, it turns the element of the husk, it doesn't matter what element it is, it turns it to physical. So these traps will be doing more damage because they are locked to physical, which is very, very good. More damage. And if you place this trap correctly, so say the husks spawn here, and we place it this way, the husk will be, when they unfreeze, they'll get knocked back this way, which is very, very good. Because we don't want them, I see people just place them any random way. It's not good, because say they place them this way, the husks will be pushed back towards the base, then they could just one hit the wall and get in. But yeah, you do like to pair that with a little bit of a block off, just so the husks are forced to go in the tunnel. I love this tunnel. I use it a lot on stream, so yeah, come join the Twitch one day. But I also see people doing this. Say this is the data. Say this is like the objective. They place broadsides on each side of the walls, and as I said earlier here, the reason we don't do this is because when it activates, it sends the cannonball projectile that way. And you could get so much more damage if you just place it a wall next to it, and the husk goes here. I don't recommend placing a trap like this though. I recommend putting wall darts on these walls, or like wall spikes or something. Sound walls, something like that. I just don't recommend placing broadsides here. Next tunnel is like a kind of knockback pushback tunnel. These next few tunnels are like a case by case basis, just depends on where you spawn in your missions. But yeah, this is just a knockback tunnel. It doesn't need to be this long. It could just be like 3, but we'll just go over the first bit. Wall dart, because when the husk walks in, the wall darts will activate 3 tiles. So it'll activate when they're here, they'll die. Same, they could be over here and it would still activate. Then this one would activate. But yeah, we'll start off with the ice traps. The ice traps, as I said earlier in that main tunnel, the ice traps, the gas traps are going to be like our main bread and butter type of thing here. We use the gas traps, we use the ice traps to push them back. and snare them and just do all that very juicy fliction and nice damage. It's just very nice. I love gas traps. Not affliction, by the way. I don't think they do affliction anymore. They used to, but yeah. Then we have broadsides, ice traps. As we showed you earlier, the broadsides, they just do a shit ton of damage. Then we have the wall launchers to recycle them back into this tunnel. If they get that far, I don't think they would get that far if I'm being honest. And then we have another wall dart, like in that case, say the husk's here, it'll get shot by that wall dart because wall darts can activate 3 tiles behind the actual, before the enemy gets there. It doesn't have to be on the first tile, it activates like all the way like back here if there wasn't a wall in the way. But yeah, then we have wall launchers as again to recycle them back. But yeah, you just copy and paste this tunnel as many times as you would like. Then we have at the end of the tunnel, we just do 2 broadsides because we're not having to curve back into another tunnel. It's quite a big tunnel, but it does a lot of damage. The only weakness to this tunnel though is if a smasher gets in. But you have the plasmatic discharger for that. I'm not saying use the plasmatic discharger. Use the pot shot is a very good weapon. I love the pot shot. But the plasmatic discharger does do very good against smashers. Then we have the next tunnel. This again, like this one, it's more of a case by case basis. Just depends on where it is, like what spawn you get. I'm just going to quickly pop an anti-air, just cause. You could either place one in the middle or like one on each side. Scrap that one there. We could just place one on each side. But yeah, for the tunnel, we have ice trap, ice trap, ice trap, broadside, broadside, broadside. And the reason we have so little traps is because this is carried by the tire drop traps. If you didn't know, you have to place the tire drop traps 3 builds high, so it does more damage. And it's just way better like that. I see people place it 1 and it's just weird. Another reason I love the tire drop trap, if you place it correctly, it's the same as the ice traps. You have to be facing the opposite way. So let's say the husks are here. So let's say I'm a husk. Hee. I'm a husk. I walk in, this gets activated, and the opposite way you face, the husks will get pushed back, if that makes sense. So say I'm walking in, I faced this way to push the tunnel, to make the tunnel, sorry. My words are again a bit mixed up, my bad. I faced this way to place it, so then the husks get pushed back this way. And they carry it, because the amount of tires there are in the tire drop trap, there's about like 10 I think. Don't quote me on that, but there's a lot of tires from them. 9, sorry, I can see 9. They just get pushed back and back and back. And then if we say like have a wall dart on the end of this, just so it activate when they get to here, everything would just literally die instantly. I love this tunnel, but again, it's very much case by case basis. It's good in endurance as well. Then for the next tunnel, I don't like this tunnel as much as the others, but there's 2 ways you could build this. You could build it 2 apart, which is the absolutely longest tiles you can do. It's only recommended to do no more than 2 tiles apart. So 1 tile apart, nice. 2 tiles apart, you're pushing it a little bit. I can't place a wall there sadly, but you're pushing it. 3 tiles apart, not recommended at all. The damage just drops off by that point. You could either do 2 apart and then the electric fields on top just to help kill the husks. I do like electric fields, they're a very good trap. Yeah, they do what they say, they just shoot stuff. I'll make another guide on that at some point. And then we have ice traps, because I love ice traps a lot as well. And then the broadsides, you can either do it one of 2 ways. You can do it like this, where they're bouncing from 2 apart, or you could place a wall in the middle, divide it into 2 types of trap tunnels. Trap tunnels? Why did I say it like that? Trap tunnels. And then you just do even more damage. You'd get more husks in as well, because you get like 17 husks down that side, 17 husks down that side, and they just do. So yeah, they're like the 4-ish type of tunnels. You could do some more, but they're the main cases. The main rule with broadsides, just make sure they're 1 apart. Don't do what the Lynx Cassandra Andy did over here with the broadsides, or don't place them everywhere. Like I think some people think it's like this magical mystical trap that once you place it down you automatically get the mission win, but it's not. You have to know how to place it. And I hope this video helps what not to do. Just don't place it more than 2 apart, pretty much. Just make sure there's a wall next to every single broadside. Make sure there's a wall. Even if you just have the one broadside, just make sure there's a wall next to it. Please, I'm begging you. The amount of times I go into 160s and there's people just spamming broadsides like this. They just need help with the learning, that's all. Just to like add to the earlier point about placing one broadside in just placing the one. What you could do what I like to call it the dancy room. You place a wall launcher where the husks have to go, like down a path they have to go. It will push them into what I call the dancy room. You have a sound wall on the one side, wall dart on the one, freeze, gas trap, the fundamentals like I explained earlier, and then a broadside. They'll dance because of this. The propanes will be dropped. They'll freeze. They'll get killed by the wall dart. They'll get obliterated by the broadside, and they'll get shot on by the gas trap as well. But I did place these facing the other way, so that, as I said earlier, they get pushed back into the tunnel instead of out the tunnel. Either way, they get recycled back in by the wall launcher, but it take durability off. But yeah, I just wanted to add on to the previous point before I do the outro. So yeah. So yeah, that was it for the broadside trap guide. If you did find this helpful, please consider liking, subscribing. Also, if you got this far, yeah, please consider liking, subscribing. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you using your time to watch this video, this guide. Hope it helped you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.